Hello, well, welcome to our call. We're gonna start very shortly, so I hope that you are doing well and join us here. So please just give me a few more minutes as people start to join. Thanks for being with us here again. Today is a very interesting topic. Today we'll talk about how to break communication barriers. Okay. Yes, testing the audio here, making sure that everything is okay. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining. We have people in different locations, different social media accounts joining us here. We have people in Zoom. Welcome, Elder Edward from Trinity Adventist International Church. Welcome to our Zoom account. Welcome those that are joining us on Facebook. Welcome those on YouTube and on Twitch. And shortly we'll also be testing our broadcast over Instagram. So I hope that you all are doing okay. Okay. Thank you so much for being here again. We'll just give a few more minutes for people to join so we can start on time. I see my video is lagging a little bit. Better. Just testing, so please there on the chat, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Zoom, or on Instagram where you are, if you notice that the video is having some difficulties, the audio, please let us know. Let me know also where you're calling from, or where you join us from, and I hope that we can have a nice and building discussion this evening together. Again, thank you for joining us. Those that are with us on different platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Zoom, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us again tonight. And we are here with you every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Bangkok time. So we'll start here shortly. Please take this time to invite your friends there on Facebook, on Twitch, on different platforms. Just click that share button and share it with your friends so more people can join and more people can join the discussion, be part of tonight's presentation, and also share their views or the question with us. Okay. Okay. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Thursday sharing more about living the digital missionary life. And tonight I'm testing as well on streaming on Instagram. So here on my right, I have a few of my friends that are on Instagram as well as joining us. We have some individuals from Hope Channel, some people from Sabah, from Sarawak, some from here, from Thailand, and we also have some individuals there on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch that join us here. So thank you all for being here. So also my friends on Zoom, if you have the Zoom account and you have been part of this journey, you can also join us there in Zoom to actually come on video if you have questions, and we can continue the discussion. I guess for those that don't know me, my name is Pablo Rios, and I have been working in the area of marketing for the past 13 years. And for the past 2 years, I have been blessed to be able to set my goals on working online as a digital nomad, you might say, or digital e-commerce platforms. And I've been dedicating my life to online digital ministries. And this for the past 7 weeks, we have been together here every single Tuesday, sharing about different lessons that I have learned as I work and live and ministry online. So I hope that tonight's message or tonight's lesson can help you in whatever you are doing online or on the real world, because tonight's topic is about breaking those communication barriers. So when we are breaking communication barriers, it can be on our real life, it can be online, it can be in anything that we do. Communication is pretty much a key building block of everything that we do. So this evening, I want to dive straight into our topic of how we break communication barriers. But first of all, I want to invite all of you to take a minute of your time to acknowledge the presence of God, to ask for the Holy Spirit to come with us, to fill our hearts, to fill our minds, to open our minds for us to be able to have a beautiful discussion. Now, I want you to take a moment to call on God, because I know that He is here with us. So I know that God can touch our hearts, and I want you to ask God to please open our minds, to help us understand this topic and work through us so we can be agents of change in the world. Because you know, my favorite word, my hashtag is influence change, and we want to influence change in the world. Whatever we are doing, in whatever capacity we're doing it. If we want to work online, if we have a commerce, a business, if we have a YouTube channel, or we are an influencer, or even if we just go online to share with people and communicate or relate to our friends, we are influencing change wherever we are. And I hope that through this series, we can learn how we can influence change for the better around us, especially in this digitally connected world. And I want you to join me every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Bangkok time to discuss this topic. And if you are joining us on any other platform, in YouTube, in Facebook, in Twitch, please comment there on the chat. I would like to hear from you. I want you to type there where are you connecting from. So please type there where you're connecting from. If you're from Bangkok, if you are connecting from Sabah, from Sarawak, there in the chats here. I have Guyana 345 here on my Instagram saying hello. I wave you back hello. Thank you so much for being here. Share this with your friends, and I hope that we can connect. And as well here on Zoom, I have Taf Makuyana here in Bangkok, and we have Edward James as well joining us here on Facebook, on YouTube. We also have a few people joining us there. I hope to hear from you where you are calling, where you are connecting from. You can see that I am a little bit of the old school, I still relate to calling as in the radio and podcast. But thank you so much for being here with me and joining us in this communication. For those that don't know me, I am Pablo Rios again. I am a graduate of theology from Andrews University in Michigan, USA. With a master's degree in leadership and supervision from the Adventist University in the Philippines, and have been working for over 13 years in the area of marketing and enrollment. So I have there also Ruben La Chica from Bangkok. Nice to see you, sir. We miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Guy, also from Trinity International School, one of my old students, is here on Instagram with us. Very good to see you here. Thank you so much for joining us. And I have been working here online for the past 2 years, and I really wanted to have a channel, a way for me to share with you what I have learned and how we can all be instruments of change in the connected world that we're living today, especially through these difficult times in the pandemic. I see that many of us are seeing the need for us to have an extra income, an alternative income online, or also that many of our lives have moved a lot online and digital connected world. So tonight's topic, I want you to discuss and share about the barriers that we have in communication. You see, according to the research, we have over 11 million text messages sent every single day in the United States. And that's only text messages. Here in Asia, I'm sure that that number is even bigger, because text messaging is one of the platforms that builds up the communication here in Asia. So the question is, how do we communicate? For many times before, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I have been talking to you and sharing how the way that we communicate, that we share, has changed over the years. For my great-grandparents, from my grandparents, even from my parents, when they communicated, they were able to create and have that ability to connect with people through speaking. When they were able to talk, to be able to share who they are, open up, listen to people, and maybe follow some simple communication guidelines and be able to communicate with people. But today's society is different, it's changed. I remember when I travel with my parents, normally they will connect with people and they will be able to establish a communication with other people. And at the end of the trip, normally they travel in a bus or in a plane or in a boat. And by the end of the trip, 45 minutes, 1 hour later, they were great friends. They knew each other's addresses. They knew the names of all the kids. They know all the difficulties that they were going through. They were able to connect and communicate. Now, we are living in a different era and a different world. And even now through the pandemic, we are living in a situation where communication is very difficult. Hey, I want to say hello to my friends in Hope Channel TV Asia. So a shout out to Hope Channel TV here in Asia. If you go to the website, hopetv.asia, also on Instagram. They are doing a great job here in Asia and making some beautiful programs online and trying to help us communicate as well. So, but the communication that we are living today is different. not only because of these devices that we have, these cell phones, these things that we use. These things have not only altered the medium that we use, how we communicate, but they also have altered those barriers that we have to communication. I remember when I was in school, I took in college, I took a class about communication, about creating connection with people. And one of the things that they teach us is how to um, show that you were listening, to be a engaged listener. And they will say, well, for you to be an engaged listener, you need to always reply, say something that you were listening. Say yes, those cues of listening. So when you're listening, you yes, you say something, so you acknowledge the person that you are listening to them. You will also ask questions, or you also look at the person in the eye and make sure that you are connected with the person. But the thing is that today's society is not only requesting for us to look like we are listening, but they want us to listen. And that is one of the primary problems that we have today about communication, is that we have a barrier into the listening part. You see, I noticed that on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, normally the people listen to those same messages that they already want or they already know about. They are not really looking out or looking to see if they have some new information. They don't want to hear to something new, something controversial. They want to be enforced into what they know. For example, let me ask you a question. You that are there on Instagram, here on my right, or if you are on Facebook, on Twitch, or on YouTube, or you are on Zoom, I would like to ask you if you have ever unfriended somebody on your Facebook account or Instagram account because they have been posting things that you don't agree with. How many of you? Please, if you are there on the chat, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, any of the accounts, please say yes. Say I am here. And if you have ever unfriended somebody because they shared something on the social media that you did not agree with. What about if they share too much? What about if they keep sending forwards? Oh, I know about this here. If you receive forwards after forwards after forwards, what do? You start unfriending people, you start unfollowing people, you start unliking people. And this is what we are doing. And then if you go through your TikTok account, if you go through your Facebook account, your Instagram account, and you check and see who you are following, I'm sure that you will start to see that more and more people that you are following and the content you are following are types of content that you already agree with. I'm sure you are not following many accounts that actually you don't agree with, although that give you a different opinion. And that's another polarizing problem that we have today in the world. And what's going on right now in the United States may be a very, very big demonstration of how this have a global impact of that secularization and differentiation of people. I'm not talking about races here, but I'm talking about ideologies. When you have certain ideologies, you start to lean towards talking, sharing, and communicating with people with the same ideology. Guy here says that never have unfriended anybody on Facebook. Well, it's good if you don't unfriend anybody, but the same thing it says that are you following people that have views that are contrary to yours? Do you follow people that do not believe what you believe, or that says something that is contrary to what you understand to be truth? That is here something interesting, because we notice that in the United States, for example, right now what's happening is that the people that are gathering together is about the same view. And when you have a polarizing view, you don't connect with them. And one thing that is happening is that when we listen, we stop listening to learn. We stop listening to be amused. We start listening to understand. We started to only listen to respond. And that's something that I see a lot on social media when we are online talking on the comments. The gauge for any channel on YouTube or any account on Facebook or any account on Instagram is not the different posts that they have or even the amount of followers that they have. The gauge is the conversation, is how engaged the people are in the conversations. And when you go to different outlets, you can see what types of conversations you are having there in the chat section. And that is the gauge that will tell you what are people really listening to. So if you go to CNN, for example, you'll find one type of discussion that is going on. And anybody that will oppose to that, anybody that will say something contrary to the general idea that is going through the comments, they are attacked, they are blocked, they are put away, they are tagged, they are just put aside. The same thing if you go to Fox. If you go to Fox channels on Instagram, Facebook, and any other platform, and you go to the comment section, you start to see comments, and anybody that thinks or says something different to the norm of that channel, of that ideology feeling follow, is ostracized, is put aside, is put away. But at the same time, if you say something that is positive, something that is reaffirming, something that is of the same ideology that you're following on the channel, people start to like. People start to see who you are. People start to go and follow you because they understand that you are of the same mentality that they are. And that's how you start to get connections online. So the listening going on right now on our social media platforms is not a listening to understand, a listening to learn. It's a listening to respond. So we go and we read our comments, and in our mind, instead of learning or trying to learn more from this person, we try to see how I'm gonna respond. And I know I am even I have also have problems with this, and I am also guilty of this same habit. When I receive emails, sometimes I'll go through the email and I already have a preconceived idea of who this person is, why he might be writing about, and I started reading in the context of what I expect them to say, and not trying to really understand what they are trying to say, not trying to learn from there, allowing myself to be immersed into what they're saying. And if it's on a chat, on WhatsApp, online, am I trying to really gauge what they're truly saying? Am I asking questions? I'm trying to make sure that I know what they are saying, that I understand what they are saying, or I'm just waiting to see that they finish so I can give them what I'm trying to say. So the first point here on breaking that communication barriers online or in any platform that we are, it is that we need to listen to be so when we listen to whatever platform, whatever channel, whatever form of communication we are listening to try to be amused. Try to find in the conversation in what information you are engaging with, whether it is a comment, whether it is a video, whether it is a real person talking in front of you. Just listen and try to be amused, trying to learn something, to see what the person is really trying to say. What is the intention? And sometimes I understand that it's very difficult to do this because we are living in a polarized world when we only want to see the information that we agree with. We don't want to get into political correctness discussions that are, or things that are not politically correct. We don't want to get into controversial topics. So it is something that we trying to keep away from. We don't want to create an argument. I'd rather have a connection with people that are there. Thank you here, Ido Haruki. Hey Haruki, this was also one of my students here in Bangkok, Trinity Adventist International School. Nice to see you on Instagram. So thank you so much for joining. Also for those individuals there on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. If you are here, please let me know that you are joined so I can say hello to you. If you have any questions at any moment, if you something that you would like to share, please let me know. Comment there on the chat. We are online and we want to communicate. So the first area, the first way of breaking that barrier is to listen, to try to be amused, to put our information, our things aside, listen. Not try to look like we are listening. Like all of these techniques that we learn how to be a good listener and how to show people that we are actually listening. Stop trying to look like you're listening and actually listen to people. So you actually know what they are doing, and you open yourself to be amused, to learn, to get something new. Now, the second area is that when you are in communication with people, it is a position for you to communicate, to engage, to connect with the other person. So whether you are talking in person, whether you are talking online, whether you are chatting, or whether you are responding to comments on any channel, you are trying to communicate, to connect. You are not trying to sell yourself. You are not trying to promote yourself, put your viewpoint outside there. You're not trying to sell something, because when people see that you are promoting yourself, that you are trying to sell something that is for your own gain, then they stop listening, they stop engaging, they stop communicating, because that's a barrier. When I notice this is an ad, there's something fishy here, the person is trying to get something or is promoting themselves. Now that is a barrier that we need to get over, that not to or to create that barrier, to really go and try to sell or say something and lead or control the conversation. We need to try to engage, to connect. So when we respond to a conversation, we respond to somebody that's talking to us, we are responding to try to connect. So I ask a question, or I really try to understand what you are saying, or I try to show you that I am open to hearing more about you. So whenever you respond to a comment online, whenever you respond to a chat, whenever you respond to something, make sure that you keep the conversation going by asking another question, but not because you want to seem like you are listening or you are connecting, but because you want to connect, because you want to know more. If you truly want to know more, I don't want you to do this and try to connect with people when you have an alternative motive or when you have no desire of connecting with the person. Because we have to be ourselves, we have to be genuine. And that's the third barrier that we see online and around us today, is that people are not genuine. Oftentimes we have a facet, we have a mask that tries to show us in the way that we think that people will like us. We try to cover ourselves with what people will like to listen, what people will like to say. The problem is that when we start to engage in that action, we start to go against ourselves, we start to betray ourselves, we start to have a difficulty really connecting with who we are. How can we connect with some other person? How can we connect with somebody else if we are not even sure of who we are? We have to be a whole person. We have to be ourselves to allow ourselves to connect with the other person. Whether it is through a device, through a screen, you are trying to connect with the other person on the other side. And the other side is not a robot. On the other side of the screen, the other side of your phone, of your chat, of your video camera, there is somebody else. There is a real person. That's who you're trying to connect with. And they want to connect with you. They want to connect with you, with the real you. Because if we try to put a face, a mask of what we would like them to see, sooner or later that mask will come off. Sooner or later you will be bombarded, you will be drained of living a life that is not true, or living an experience that is not truly yourself. Sooner or later it comes to light what you are fearing, that people will know you. And the problem is that this fear of being known, if I tell you there on Instagram or I tell you there on YouTube, this fear of being known is because we want to connect. We try to be something else. We try to talk or say something that people will want to listen because of our fear of being rejected. So I say, I want to have this ministry, or I want to have this business online, or I want to do this, and then I have to change the way I talk, I have to change the way I dress, I have to change what I talk about, else people will not like it. People will not connect with me. You see, we're not living in a world when you connect with one or two people in your block, when you connect with only people that you can see around the neighborhood. We are connecting with people around the world, and we need to connect with people in a genuine way, people that really connect with you. And here I'm going to say something important that is for us that are talking about a ministry. That if we want to have an online ministry, then we need to make sure that we are connecting with people, showing our true self, listening to them, and really being us in front of the camera, being us in front of people when we are serving them, when teaching them, when we are working with them. Be us 100%. Because we need to connect with people from our experience. You see, God and the message that we are trying to share is not an impersonal God, is not an impersonal message. God is not impersonal. God is personal. God has worked through you, God has worked through me, and God wants you to connect with that person and show what God has done for you. The Holy Spirit will work through people. The Holy Spirit will go and will allow that message to grow, but the people need to see God through you. So we need to be able to open our minds, open our understanding to connect with people, and allow ourselves to be amused when we talk to them. Allow ourselves to really understand what they are doing. I read a report from the UN that is about the UN World Food Plan, and it was done a report in some of the African nations, how they were receiving aid from the UN to develop sustainable food sources. And they had spent almost $100,000 to rearrange an area, I think it was in Uganda, that they were organizing some farmland to be able to grow, I believe it was corn. And they say when the people from Europe, from the UN, went there and look at the land and look at the landscape, they say, wow, this is a great place. I can't believe that there's no plantations in this area. They have a beautiful river area here. They have a nice valley, a nice place where you can plant and fix this place. So they put all the money to bring in the technology, to bring in the resources, the funds, and they set up a beautiful area, a couple of acres of cornfields. And was something marvelous for them to see until the rainy season came and they started to see how the hippos started coming down the river into the fields and started eating all the corn, then eating all the plantation, destroying everything, and all the thousands of dollars that they were invested there, they were destroyed by the natural animals. And they went and they said, how can these people never talk to us? They never said that they had a problem with the hippos. People say, well, that's why we never planted here. But why you didn't tell us? The book says, well, you never ask. People came at giving us help, we accepted the help. But you never ask why we have never planted here. And oftentimes when we try to communicate and we try to influence change in people, that is one of the difficulties, that we do not listen. We just listen for the clues, the cues that we have learned to answer to, so we can move our agenda forward. But here is that we need to be amused. We need to learn to listen to people and to learn from people. See what is that they have to teach us. Because it doesn't matter who they are, what religion they are, what background they are, what they are doing. The truth is that they are human beings. They are people with experiences, with feelings, with knowledge. And we can share that, we can understand them and see their problems, see their struggles, and we can learn. If we can learn from them, maybe they will be willing to learn from us. The final point of that I want to share, or based on my experience, to try to break those barriers of communication, is to try to give value. Always give value, not for you, but for the person. So first, we always try to listen to learn, listen to be amused. Don't listen to respond. Then be genuine, be yourself. When you talk, when you share, be you. Not try to share what people are expecting you or will want you to say, but say what you have to say. Say who you are. Then accept people, listen to them, see their problems, connect with them, and finally provide them with value. If your experience have been that God or your life has been changed because of a specific message, or for example, a specific thing that you learned. I can remember one teacher in high school that changed my life, and that he taught me to be more caring, to be more attentive, to really put more emphasis and more focus on my schoolwork. That information about how I changed my life, how I decided to put and be more serious about my education, I can share that experience and I can share that value. But it's important for us to give that with intention of giving value, giving my personal input, giving what I can do, share, to be able to give value to others. We need to break those barriers, and communication today is harder than ever before. Communication today is happening more and more and more. Don't think that people are not communicating. We are communicating more, but that communication is very fragile, because now in a click of a button I can just block somebody. If they say something that I don't like, if they keep sending me the forwards that I don't like, if they keep sharing too much about something that I don't agree with, block them. Because I don't want to hear, I don't want to be bothered with things that don't help me grow. I don't want to be presented with ideas that I don't understand or that give me some conflict. And that's the world that we're living in. So as missionaries, as people living a digitally connected life, we need to be aware of this. We need to be aware that the connection is with people that can connect with us. So unless we are genuine, unless we are ourselves and we really understand who we are, only then we can connect with people, because they will connect with us, with our true self, with our struggles, with our difficulties, with our problems. And it's only then that communication can flow, when I care about them. I would love to hear about you. What have been your experience with communication? What have some of the barriers of the struggles that you have? So if you are online connected in any platform, if you are on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, and you're listening to me tonight, and you have a question or you would like to add a comment, there's something that you have learned in your connectiveness, in your connection online, that can help us to grow, can help us to connect better with people, connect us to influence change better. Please share it with me. Share it with us here online. We want to know more about it. So in any platform there, just type on the chat. If you are on YouTube, you have a chat on the right side of the window. There is that I will see your chats. If you comment on the video afterwards, then it will stay on the video after it is posted online. So make sure to right now, yes, share on the chat. Even if you are with us in Zoom, you can also share on your chat, or share on, or by opening your mic and your video and sharing with us. I will just engage with you. So one important question that I have seen come up over and over and over again is, how do I connect with people that don't understand or don't believe what I believe? You see, here's the thing, that we don't connect on beliefs. We don't connect on religion, we don't connect on specific things. We connect on what makes you you. And those little things, that your experience, your marital status, your religion, those are things that are part of who you are, but it's not who you are. So when we connect with people, connect who you are with them, and allow slowly those other aspects, those other experiences in your life to come forward and strengthen your connection. So maybe they can relate to your marital problems, they can relate to your siblings, difficulties with your family, or difficulties with your girlfriend, your boyfriend. They can relate to those difficulties that have made you who you are today. Of course, some of them might be able to relate to your religious or your spiritual challenges, or what you would like to find out, you would like to share more. But first, you find something that you want to share about yourself. For example, one thing that I see a lot happening today, and for many of us that call ourselves digital missionaries, I see them sharing Bible stories, quotes of inspiration from the Bible, and those things have their place, and they have the people that are also looking for those things, that need for those things, and have a connection to those things. So I encourage that if that is your goal, is to look for people that are actually searching for that have that type of connection. But if your goal is to connect with people that do not have that kind of inclination, that do not care about spiritual things, do not care about Christian things, then you ought to connect with them in other areas of your life and allow your Christian, your biblical, and your spiritual life to shine through your personal experience. That's why with breaking barriers, you have to be genuine. You have to be you. You have to be a full person. It's like, for example, when you get married. You know? Some people say, "Oh, when you get married, I'll find the person that completes me." And say, "I have seen these cars on sale that says you complete me, or you are my other half." And that, I think, is completely wrong, because you cannot go into a relationship, you cannot go into a relationship, whether it is marital or otherwise, and thinking that somebody else will complete you, because then you will be connecting with other people expecting for them to give you something that you need. So you'll start to suck in, you try to get from them what you need. And they are human beings just like you. You cannot connect with somebody that is not fully formed. You cannot allow other person that it is as fault as you are to connect you and make you whole. You need to be whole to connect with somebody else that is also whole. So I will say, if you look for relationships, never look for somebody to complete you. Look for somebody to complement you. Somebody that will expand your ability, somebody that expand your knowledge, will expand your circle of friends, somebody that will expand that we are. Because sometimes we say, "Oh, I am shy, I don't have a friends, so this person, if I am be friends with this person, then that person will complete me and will bring me into the circles." No, we're trying to feed from somebody that also have other faults, also have other difficulties, other challenges that we are not ready to take on. We need to be able to engage with those friendships ourselves, and then we'll be able to engage with somebody else that can expand, extend, or allow us to grow. We need to be ourselves. We need to be fully 100% ourselves to be able to engage with other people. Okay, I don't see any other questions online. All the chats have gone quiet, and that's signals to me that it's time for us to finish. It's time for me to stop talking and to start listening. So I will listen to you on the chat, on the comments. You have my social media connections online, and I hope that you can connect with me. I hope that you can also be part of the conversation and be able to join with me here online. If you are on the social media accounts, you see here on the side, you have my Instagram account. I'm on Instagram by riospablo.co, on Facebook by riospablo.co, as well on TikTok. You can find me with riospablo.co, or my professional email there at pablo@community7.org. And again, a big thanks to our sponsors for this video, for this series, community7.org. We are doing a great job here in developing online ministries and providing technical and financial assistance for us to continue to grow in our online and digital ministries. So I hope that you can check them out. Check out what they are doing at community7.org. Be able to engage with them and see how you can partner with them and even become a member to be part of this movement to grow our online and our evangelistic work here in Thailand. Again, with that, I thank you for joining me again this Thursday, and I invite you to come again on Thursday. I will be connected in the same platforms. Invite your friends, invite your neighbors to connect, and so we can have more people to join and share with us. Next week, we are going to be revisiting the topic of TikTok. Next week, we'll be doing that because of the time is coming for that bill to come into force in the United States, where TikTok has been given a deadline to sell its ByteDance part in the United States or cease operation in the United States. So I want to revisit TikTok and update you on how the platform is working, how you can start doing your ministry online, how you can start your business online, and how you can use TikTok to expand your influence of change around online ministry. So again, if you're interested on starting on TikTok, on finding out what is TikTok, or knowing and learning more about TikTok, so please just share this message with other people. Subscribe to our channel or like our page. Subscribe to us, to me on the different platforms here, and I hope to see you next week. Again, next week we'll be talking about TikTok, and I thank you all for being with us. And I pray that God might be with you, that God might continue to bless you in everything you do, that He might strengthen you, He will give you wisdom and give you knowledge to continue on in influencing change to the people around you, that you might be a beacon of light and give flavor to this world in whatever form you can. May God continue to bless you and guide you. And from my heart to yours, thank you for joining us. Have a beautiful day. God bless you. Thank you.